Conor, it is so good to meet you, my friend. Obviously seen the film, more of which in a moment. I've been lucky enough to interview many big names over the years. And the free song backstage at Good Morning Britain, when I told everybody that I was coming to meet you, I could have sold tickets. Wow. We're not even in the ring.
Wow, brilliant. Good.
Yeah.
That's a good sign.
Are you aware of that?
You know, I don't know. I am now.
Yeah, you are.
That's good. I'm excited. Happy to be here. Thank you for having me on. And it's an honour.
No, it's an absolute honour to meet you. And I've seen the film and I was a fan of the original. For those people who haven't seen the Patrick Swayze version from way back when, tell us a little bit about the Roadhouse.
Yeah. Well, the Roadhouse, it's a bar. It's like a pub. We would call it a pub here in the UK or Ireland. I owned one also. I own a Roadhouse. You know, it's why the role fit me very well. But it's about a former fighter who has had a troubled past. You know, he's done some bad things, but he's a good man at heart. He enters into a roadhouse that has, you know, a bad clientele, a lot of danger, a lot of fighting, and he's essentially hired in to, you know, clean it up. And then, you know, there's a little bit, you know, there's things more sinister at hand. You know, there's more powerful people at play and trying to get control of the roadhouse. And, you know, the story unfolds on the back of that. And myself, I'm a new character in. I also was a huge fan of the original Roadhouse, which is what really made me take the role in the first place, you know, to make sure that it was done justice, that the original was done justice. And for me, I was a new character who wrote into the story. I'm the bad guy, you know, there's bad guys and then I'm the extra bad guy. So, you know, I went in, I done my best. It was my first time out, my first time doing the movie game. And, you know, I was nervous. I'm still a bit nervous, to be honest, because, you know, my mother has yet to see the film. She's going to see the film this evening. And, you know, there's a couple of raunchy scenes in it as well. So, yeah. And I didn't let her know any of that. So, you know, it was an amazing experience. A lot of hard work, you know, a lot of humbling hard work. And, you know, I approach it like I would approach my martial arts training. I'm a novice at this. I've never done a movie before. So I am akin to a white belt, a beginner. So I just went in, I took direction well, and I gave it my all. And, you know, I feel we done a good show. I feel Swayze and the Swayze family, you know, would be happy with what we have done here. And I know the fighting world that will be watching this in the UFC world will be happy what we have done here. So I'm proud of that.
Yeah, well, that's great to hear, because I mean, it's certainly a cracking yarn, and it does very much honour the story of the original. Jake Gyllenhaal, obviously, I've been lucky enough to meet many times. He's the bloke on the door.
Yeah,
he's the guy.
He's the guy. He's the good.
And you're the villain. Now, you talk about your mum and a few raunchy scenes. Well, you do make quite an entrance for your film debut, don't you? I think it's fair to say your mother would have seen you like that a few times, and possibly,
you know what?
Yeah,
that's right. That's right. That's right.
I mean, mate, you're butt naked for a minute.
I know,
right?
That's what, because when I had seen it then in front of the audience, I was like, they could have cut it short a few seconds. It went on and on and on. I was like, what the hell? But, you know, I was actually doing something with James Corden last night, and he had said the same thing to me. He's like, because when I was saying about my mother's going to see it today, I'm a little bit nervous of it. He said it's nothing she hasn't seen before. And you know, that actually settled me. I was like, it's true.
So, you know, first day on set, was it?
That was not my first day on set. That was the first scene. It was my first day on set. No,
right.
But yeah,
and that's the $1 billion walk.
That's the really, you know. That's now, you know, I was acting. That's Knox. I'm Knox. I played a character.
Right.
So I immersed myself in the role. Knox, I'm not sure his net worth, but you know,
get a tenner for my swagger. To be cool.
You know what I was told. Well, what I used to you know, to agree to it was Arnold Schwarzenegger. That's how Arnold Schwarzenegger came into the movie business in Terminator. He was down, crouched over, and solid and strong, and but naked also. So I just thought to myself, if Arnold done it, and his career was so stellar in the industry, you know, maybe why not? And you know, I'm a free spirit. I'm confident. I'm in shape. I said, okay, no problem. Yeah. There's also an ode to an old Swayze film. Also, Swayze done it. Also, Patrick Swayze done it. Also, a scene similar. It wasn't in the Roadhouse, so I forget what movie it was, but it was a back shot, and you know, close up and extended.
There you go.
So, you know, it was a little bit of both. There was an ode to Patrick Swayze, and maybe they're teeing me up to be an Arnold Schwarzenegger type in this industry. I mean, I do this for real. You know, I came from the fighting world. I am in the fighting world. I am immersed in it. So there's not an action star in Hollywood that could take me on, and that's a fact. So, you know, let's see how it goes.
Fighting talk, and it's also what you keenly point to is the graft, and you'll know, stranger obviously, with all your titles in your world to that discipline. But what's it like when you're on a set and you're learning this new craft, if you like, and it is a completely different discipline, isn't it? For example, the scenes obviously clearly, because they're pretty brutal, they've got to be very tightly choreographed.
Yeah, for sure.
So was that like, I don't know, breaking an old mold and starting all over again for you?
Yeah, it was a lot of hard work. I had two lovely ladies, amazing ladies that were coaching me, my acting coaches, and I had only met them a couple of months prior to the project, and you know, they were intense with me. You know, they wouldn't let me off. They were banging down my door, make sure I'd done my homework, so to speak. And these ladies, their names was Nancy Banks and Lena George, and they were a tremendous help for me. You know, they helped me practice my lines. They helped me, you know, get in touch with the character. Who is he? What is he about? What is he feeling in this moment? And then, you know, the choreography for the fighting, that it was long and drawn out. But for me, I was more equipped at that than I would have been with practicing the lines and, you know, trying to get into the emotion of the character. But I tell you what, I had an amazing team, and they were very patient with me. And I showed up every day and gave it my all. And that's that.
Yeah, like a bro. And there would have been a huge amount of respect for you for that. And particularly coming from someone like Jake as well, who's a master of his own craft.
Jake is a consummate professional. It's a 75th movie. So, and he's also in good shape. He can throw a punch. He's done a great movie, Southpaw. You know, it's not like he's a novice in throwing his punches either. So we were able to, we had an amazing rapport on set. And a friend for life, Mr. Gyllenhaal is now. And I'm very, very grateful and a lucky Irish man to land on my feet in a position I did, you know, with Jake Gyllenhaal, with Doug Liman, who's a phenomenal director, done the Bourne Identity series, as well as a multitude of Tom Cruise movies. And then Joel Silver, who's the producers, like Mr. Action Hollywood is Joel Silver. All the 80s classics you know is Joel Silver. And then MGM Studios, Amazon Studios, I landed on my feet, and I took the bull by the horn.
Didn't you though? And then some. So I mean, when you talk about, I mean, that stable of names, studios, what a pedigree to start with. It's not everybody who makes their
and it was my first day, you know.
First day. And you must have felt like, you talk about the luck of the Irish, but you must have felt like you were anointed.
But for sure.
Not everybody who starts their career like that in Hollywood.
And you know, I was put on this pedestal. You know, obviously, I'm well known in the fight game, and you know, I bring something to the table for sure. But I'm a novice at this game. I'm a rookie. I'm unknown. But they really put me on a pedestal here, and it kind of took me back, because I was like, what if I'm no good here? You know, or what if I'm not what they expect me to be? So I just rocked in the way I rock in. I rocked in with confidence. I had my chest tied, my shoulders out, and you know, fake it till you make it. Sometimes you got to do the thing, and I just rocked it.
You though, mate, didn't they? Is that right? They I mean, they absolutely wanted you. It's an alien feeling for me.
Yeah.
I couldn't. There is no pedestal for me, mate, for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
But that's right. I mean, that's all the chatter, right? Jake himself said, you know, they wanted you.
The industry's been after me a little while, to be honest, because you know, I've had an amazing run in the fight game, and entertainment and sports and entertainment. It's so closely aligned. People must have thought I was, you know, I was a good fit for the industry. But I always would say, look, I'm involved in the fight business. I'm not involved in the movie business. I've got contests ahead of me. And I would literally turn producers that would show up, or directors and producers that would show up at my training camps often throughout the years. And then, you know, with this one, the Roadhouse, you know, I had an injury in my last bout. The timing just worked out. What the movie was, who was in it. It was time to give it a shot. And that I did.
Well, you talk about, I mean, again, in flattering company, I've interviewed John Cena many times, very lucky, and an absolute charmer.
Yeah, John's a good man. Yeah.
So, I mean, you know, this is yourself now being moulded, and they rub along very nicely with, I know John.
They're different industries now. The WWE and the UFC is stark in contrast.
But they rub along in the sense that those lads still keep one foot in the ring, if you like, and do the...
For sure, yeah.
So, I mean, it's possible. You wouldn't... Because, I mean, Hollywood is calling you. As you say, they've been knocking on your door for a while.
Yeah.
Is it something that you think would be a natural home?
You know, I had such an amazing time doing it. A lot of hard work, but I had an amazing time doing it. I'm very proud. It's banked now. You know, that is in movie folklore. And to be able to say that, and, you know, I won't say show my kids because I don't want to, you know, many, you know, when they're adults for sure. But, you know, I'm very proud of that. So I won't say never. But as of right now, I'm going to just absorb all this, you know, work that I have. You know, the movie's out, 10 days' time. Yeah. So there's still a fair bit of work we've got to do. We've got ahead of us. So, you know, there's also the St. Patrick's Day festivities. I've got the #1 Irish whiskey on the market, proper 12 Irish whiskey.
I was told to ask you about that.
Yeah,
very own Ben Shepherd.
Yeah, for sure. And I've got the #1 stout, the #1 Irish stout, forged Irish stout. We're in 1,500 premises in the UK alone. So it's a rapid ascension. So we've got many events and parties and prizes and, you know, things for fans all across the globe going on around St. Patrick's festivities. So once I do all of this and handle all of this business, I'm going to digest, you know, going to settle back into my home with the kids and begin to plot my return to the octagon. I'm ready. My body's in shape. My injuries have healed and I'm ready to book a fight. So that's what I'm eager to do. After that, maybe a year or so down the line, who knows what happens with maybe another movie. You know, as the movie takes place and as people will see it, there potentially is an opportunity to do it again.
Everything you've mentioned there brings me to my next question. Why aren't we drinking now?
Yeah, well, morning. It's good morning, Brendan. I could get you some, my man. I'll get you some for the set for sure, 100%.
Because I do love a bloody soup.
Oh man, you like stout? I've got the creamiest stout in the land, a forged Irish stout. It's a beautiful stout.
Back in the day, they used to recommend that to my mother when she was.
That's right. That's right. Yes, that's right. That's the
iron.
That's what they do. It's a phenomenal beverage, and you know it's one of my favourites. I own a brewery in Dublin, Ireland, as well as a public house. I own a brewery. I know. I apologise on that. Yeah, well, let's go for 100%. Let's go. Here, relationship set. Let's do loads more for sure.
Next time we drink. Refreshing beverages for everyone. You mentioned the family. I know the kids. They're all under 10.
Yeah.
On the juniors, a right chip on.
Yeah.
Was that sort of natural, or is he being owned by his father?
Oh well, I certainly. You know, I know that is natural for sure. I actually look at my son. And, you know, he's softened me because I look, you know, when you grow up and the world makes you hard, or, you know, you go through things in your life and it toughens you and you're not your childlike self anymore. And, you know, we're all trying to recapture that in a way. And when my son was born and I looked at my son, I saw myself as I am. I saw me untouched by, you know what I mean? You know, unaffected by anything. And it really softened me and it really warmed my heart. And, you know, I do train my children in the martial arts for sure. I keep them fit. I keep them healthy. My mother and father and family growing up, we didn't really know about nutrition like we do now, like I do now. So I you know, whereas I wouldn't have been, you know, eating correctly or up until I made that decision in my late teens to begin to get into real shape. I have them eating correctly. So, you know, they're on a good path. And let's see, as long as my children are happy. He's a chip off the old block. He's got a good backhand like his father. Yeah. He can kick. He's flexible. He's got good dexterity. We do a stretching, you know, as well. You know, but let's see how it goes. As long as my children are happy, and you know, and they feel love, I am happy.
Yeah, amen. And that is absolutely the way forward. You know, that's really all they can learn at your knee. Because if you're loved, you can do absolutely anything in your life.
100%.
It's interesting you should say that having a family sort of softened the edges a bit, and you saw yourself again as a nipper and. You know, that shifted your perspective because you mentioned James Corden there, and obviously he made the decision because there was a great offer on the table, the Late Late Show. You'd want to, you know, to go over his whole family to Hollywood. And I suppose that would be something that would be a massive consideration for you because essentially I get the feeling from you that, you know, it's in your DNA. Mm-hmm. You're quite a homegrown lad. So, and homespun in the best possible sense of that.
Yeah.
So moving your family to somewhere like Hollywood, as young as those kids are, and let's face it, kids can adapt to anything, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Especially if they are loved. That would be a massive consideration for you.
For sure. You know, I have a lot of travel with my work. Ireland is my home. It's where my base is. I do have property all over the world. I'm blessed in that regard. And I'm blessed that I've got work all over the world. And, you know, I will say regarding James and that move, decision to move the family for career reasons and whatnot. It's a humongous decision. But even right now, I've got my fiance here and my children here with me. And, you know, home is where the heart is. Wherever you are together is where you are, you know. So that's how I feel right now. I'm away from home, but my home is here with me because my children are here, my lady's here, and everything's fine then. You know, I feel great at the minute, to be honest.
What's like with you on the road then when you take the family along with you? I mean,
it's better than when they're not here.
Yeah,
you know, I'm lost. I'm a lost man. Yeah. You know, so I had gone to South by Southwest, which is a big Texas movie festival, and then we were in New York prior, and I hadn't got the family, and you know, I just want my family close. They're my team. That's my team. You know. And I'm nervous because the world is dangerous at times. You see what's happening in the news all the time. And I just, you might not think I might worry or something, but, you know, you worry that if you're away from your family. I don't wish to be away from my family. I want to guide my children. Yeah. You know, I want to just make sure I'm good, so good enough so I can guide them up. And then after that, you know, that's my job then. And if I'm away, it's not good for my head. So I have them here with me now, and life is sunshine and rainbows, my man.
That explains the twinkle in your eyes, and that's not just the luck of the Irish. I think it's something that everyone watching Good Morning Britain anywhere in the world, you know, can relate to, is that sort of anxiety, because it's palpable, isn't it? As you say, the state of the nation, the state of the world that we're in now, and to have your family close has never felt more profound. It's like when you go, I'm sure, you know, you find yourself in a gorgeous sort of luxurious environment. If you're not with your other half, if you're not with Dee, if you're not with the family, it's like a hollow victory in a way.
100%. You could be in a shack, where you're being a shack with your people. And, you know, with the right outlook on life and the right mindset and the right people around you, that shack is, you know, the best villa or the best home you've ever been in your life. So that's always been my mindset, you know, on the climb. We came up with nothing. My lady's my long-time lady. We're set to get married soon. We're just trying to find the location. Oh. I'm ready to go. I just want to get the location right. You know, right. Is it at home? I'd wish to get it at home. You know, we're deciding on location. So, you know, hopefully we can get the marriage done, and that's what I'm looking forward to.
What would that wedding look like?
Humongous.
Really?
I mean, I go. This is the decisions we have. I go between. Do we want a extravagant? Well, it'll be extravagant. I will spare no cost for sure for my lady and my family. And but is it an open, you know, invite everyone, or is it private? These are things we're trying to figure out. You know, we are private people, but then we wouldn't like to do it, and then we should have done it a bit bigger maybe. So we're kind of in decision mode at the minute. But let's see, things are good. But that's my lady since all the way. Yeah. These, you know, highs and lows. Before all of this, and I was in my mother's box room, in my mother's home, and yes, I was in the box room in my mother's home, and you know, there we go. This is the whiskey. This is brilliant. Oh, look at this. So this is proper 12 Irish whiskey, the smoothest Irish whiskey on the market, bar none. And look at this one. This is a special edition because it has labelled Roadhouse. My man, this is a gift for yourself. I'm not signing it for yourself if you want me.
Yes, great. We'll definitely sort that out. So, almost got the invite to the wedding.
Yeah, no, but sorry.
I got some booze on it. That's brilliant, mate. A job with the hard stuff. That'll take me into St. Paddy's Day beautifully. Mate, you're an absolute gem. I know there is another film coming up, isn't it? A Zombie Rome, is that right?
For me?
Yeah,
no film for me. Okay, right, no, it's not me, no.
Strike that then.
Yeah.
Great. Well, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you, man.
I hope it wasn't too bad for you.
No, pretty good. Appreciate you, man.
And I hope you did get the biggest check, apparently.
Yeah.
For your debut
Yeah. That's the fact. You're the highest paid first-time actor of all time. So that's a nice feather in the cap. I'm the highest paid UFC fighter of all time. I was the highest paid athlete in 2021 also. So, you know, more feather in the cap, more motivation to keep striving forward.
So you can buy me a pedestal.
That's
maybe?
it. That's it.
Finally, mate. What an
God bless you,
joy.
sir.
God bless
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
And
Thank
love
you so
to
much.
you and yours.
Thank
Absolutely.
you. Amen.